Hi traders, welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, 𝖢𝖥𝖣yi, Senior Market Analyst. We're going to go through the week ahead analysis video. I am currently away at the moment, so you're getting this from the an update from the south of France. So I'm going to give you a couple of videos this week. Well, we're going to do daily content this week. There's going to be no live streams this week, so just be aware of that. So yeah, let's dive straight into it. We're actually got quite a light news week. Having a look at the market news calendar here, and we've actually got some quite interesting data coming up though. We've got some CB confidence coming up from the US. Now it's quite an interesting week. I think we're following on from quite a heavy news week where we saw obviously the dollar continue to gain strength, and we saw the banks rate statements out of multiple different central banks, including the Federal Reserve, who left rates unchanged. And so we've got that sort of strength coming into the US dollar because it was a bit of a hawkish pause. But now we've got a bit of mixed data coming out this week. We can see that the CB, if I just move my face, the CB consumer confidence is potentially forecast to come in lower at 105.5. Previous was 106.1. We've then got other data out as well. So you can see here we've got unemployment claims, for instance. That's going to come out here potentially higher at 213 over 201 previous. We've got final GDP quarter on quarter. That is expected to rise. So a little bit of mixed data to come out this week. And that's going to make it very interesting if you are looking at the US dollar. The other event that I quite like the idea of looking at as well is obviously this manufacturing PMI out of China. China data recently has started to kind of give a little bit of volatility in the market. So that's going to be an interesting one, but that's not until next Saturday anyway. So there's no reason to worry about that necessarily during this week, although we may get some kind of positioning ahead of that event with the likes of it coming in potentially above previous at 50.2. We've got some GDP data out of Canada as well, month on month, actually expected to rise from -0.2% to -0.1% as well. So a little bits here and there out of Canada. Now going into the US dollar index then, so the dollar index at the moment, really interesting chart. We've come up into this key area at this 105.50, which were the highs back here in March. So are we going to break through this area? Are we going to hold at that area? Is price going to move up potentially to this 108 level? I think obviously we need to see a close above that. If we get a close above that high here, perhaps above 106 even, then that could obviously give us opportunities to trade up to the 108 if that dollar strength is going to continue. If the mixed sort of news week affects any kind of output on the dollar here, we might get a bit of either sort of doji candlestick or potentially even a break below back towards maybe the previous highs here at 104.50. We're also having this trend line here as a sort of a gauge to see how aggressive that move has been. And we've been, look at the sort of move that we've had. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 successive bullish weeks on the US dollar. So I am expecting some kind of turnaround, and it would make sense for it to be at such a critical level. So if we were to kind of pull back here, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Moving on to the pound US dollar then. So pound US dollar, another interesting market. Obviously, we had the Bank of England last week pause those interest rates. They were forecast to actually hike by 25 basis points. They didn't do that. They left it unchanged. Cable has then proceeded to move lower. We've now traded through these May or June lows at 1.2313. So that was quite a critical level. That's why I highlighted that here. That close below is quite interesting to me. It means that I think we're going to be opening the door for a bit of a move lower on that pound weakness to remain. Now I've highlighted the area here, which is around about the 1.24. If price was to come up there, we may get a little bit of bearishness coming back into the market, although we are approaching some key levels of support. If you do watch our live streams, you would have noticed that I use a lot of volume profile. I volume profiled an area around here and here, and it did show me there was a couple of high volume levels coming through, one at 1.2175 and the other at 1.2050. So two very key levels here that we may see price come into and have a little reaction to those. The other markets of interest then, I want to highlight dollar yen. Obviously, again, we're kind of getting a bit of a slowdown here of the dollar yen move, but we are approaching this massive zone now. So I just want to point out that we are heading higher still. We're heading towards the 149, 150, even the 151, spot 50. Which were all these levels in here where we had an intervention from the Bank of Japan. Are we going to see another intervention? We've got this trend line support running through here as well. Price may only come back to that level and continue to push higher, or even the 145, which was the previous sort of level where the Bank of Japan were considering intervening into the market, and we did get that sort of reaction there. Now we're coming into sort of the bigger numbers. So are we going to see the Bank of Japan start to intervene around these figures? Finally, then, I've looked at pound Kiwi as a potential for this week. Pound, a currency that's weak. Kiwi actually performing pretty well at the moment. And although the weekly chart is in this bullish upward trend, you can see that we've just got this trend line in here, and price has closed below that with that cable or pound weakness, I should say, really. We've closed above key support as well, the 2 spot 0900. We're now just approaching these kind of supporting points. So what I would really like to see from this market is another bearish close. Then we could obviously see if price will come even lower towards the 1 spot 9834. Now, the other thing, just to add a little bit of confluence here, we've got the stochastic below 80 crossed over K below D. It looks like it could continue down. It's only going to do that if price follows and moves lower, because price obviously is the king here. If price moves lower, then the indicator should react to that as well and should go with it. So that's all I've got for you this week. I really hope you enjoyed this video update. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content. I've been John, and hope you have a great trading week.